Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping right into the Indian retail revolution. I mean, this is a massive battle for the future of shopping, and it's playing out literally on every street corner and every single smartphone screen across the country.
This one sentence from a family running a Kirana shop in Meerut, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the dilemma right at the heart of this whole thing. It's the voice of tradition squaring off against price and, well, lightning speed.
I mean, they seem like they're from completely different worlds, right? You've got your local corner store, a gigantic supermarket, and then an app that gets you groceries in 10 minutes. But to really get how they compete with each other, we have to look past the surface and ask a really basic question. What is the actual job of retail? Let's figure it out. Okay, first things first. To really wrap our heads around this, let's zoom out for a second. Just how big of a playground are we talking about here? Yup, you're seeing that right. The Indian retail market is estimated to be worth nearly $1 trillion in 2024. That's not just big, it's a massive engine for the entire economy and one of the country's largest employers by far. And here's what might be the most surprising part of all. You hear all these headlines about giant chains and flashy tech startups, right? Well, despite all that noise, over 80% of this massive market is still unorganized. That means it's dominated by the local Kiranas, the family-run shops, and the street vendors who have been the absolute backbone of Indian commerce for generations. So how did we get here? This modern retail showdown didn't just pop up overnight. It's actually been a pretty fascinating journey. The whole story of Indian retail has basically moved from the bustling physical streets of traditional bazaars straight to the digital screens we hold in our hands. But look closely at that last point. The Kirana hasn't vanished. Nope, it is adapted, adopting the very same technology of its competitors to survive and, in many cases, actually thrive in this new world. All right, let's get to the real secret sauce here. If we want to understand how a tiny little Kirana, a massive DMart, and a super fast Zepto are all in the same business, we need to break it down. We need to look at the 6 essential jobs that every single retailer has to do to succeed. So first up is a job called breaking bulk. Now, it sounds a little technical, I know, but it's actually incredibly simple. It's just the job of taking a giant shipment from a factory and breaking it down into sizes you and I can actually buy and, fit in our kitchen. And this just shows you exactly how it works. Your local Kirana uncle opens a big carton to sell you 1 bar of soap. The DMart manager unloads an entire truck to sell individual packs. And the Zepto rider grabs a single item from a shelf in a dark store. See? They're all doing the exact same job, just at a completely different scale. Okay, next job, building an assortment. Retailers are basically curators. They bring together all these products from hundreds of different companies so that you don't have to run around to a dozen different shops. They're creating a one-stop shop for whatever you need. And here again, each one has a totally different strategy. The Kirana offers you that perfectly selected range of local must-haves. DMart gives you a massive, almost overwhelming choice for your big monthly shopping trip. And Zepto, it focuses on a tight, curated list of things you probably need, like right now. Every assortment is built for a specific shopping mission. Now for the third job, providing convenience. And let me tell you, this has become the central battleground of modern retail. It is all about making the shopping experience as absolutely effortless as possible. So here's the thing. Convenience isn't just one idea. For the Kirana, convenience is about location. It's right downstairs. For DMart, it's the convenience of getting everything you need in just one trip. And for Zepto, well, it's all about the convenience of time, getting what you want in just a few minutes. Retailers aren't just selling us stuff. They're also a critical channel for information. They're the ones who tell us about new products, special offers, and all the deals that help us decide what to buy. And this job has evolved like crazy. It's gone from the Kirana uncle's personal recommendation and maybe a handwritten sign to DMart's giant posters, all the way to Zepto's hyper-targeted app notifications that push a personalized deal right to your phone's lock screen. Okay, now for a job that most of us never even see, bearing risk. Retailers have to buy all those products up front. They take on the financial risk that those items might not sell, or they might expire or get damaged. It's a huge service they provide to both the manufacturer and to us. From the Kirana's small back room to DMart's enormous warehouses, managing this risk is absolutely essential. And this is where technology has become a total game changer. Quick commerce players use really sophisticated AI to predict what we're going to buy and manage inventory in their dark stores, which cuts down on waste and makes sure things are always in stock. And finally, that brings us to the sixth job, building relationships. For decades, this has been the Kirana's undisputed, absolute superpower. And this is where the difference is just so clear, isn't it? Modern retail tries to build loyalty with points and programs, but can an app really truly replicate the personal trust of the neighborhood kata system, where the shopkeeper knows your family and knows exactly what you buy every single week? That's the real challenge. So this brings us to a really key insight. Technology isn't actually replacing these 6 classic jobs of retail. What it's doing is supercharging them. It's giving every single player powerful new ways to do these age-old things. Just think about it. Quick commerce, with its crazy fast delivery, takes convenience to a whole new dimension. Artificial intelligence is completely revolutionizing inventory management by predicting what we'll buy next. And then you have new digital platforms like UPI for instant payments and ONDC, which is a government-backed open network for e-commerce, and they are giving the humble Kirana the tools to compete online, supercharging their ability to handle information and promotion.
So we've broken all this down. What's the big takeaway here? What does all of this mean for the future of how you buy your milk, your shampoo, and your snacks?
I think the biggest takeaway is this. The lines are blurring. This isn't some simple story of old versus new. The winners aren't going to be defined by how big they are or how old they are, but by how well they perform those 6 core jobs of retail. The future, it seems, is a fusion of personal relationships and powerful algorithms. And really, the future of Indian retail all comes down to a question. For you, when you make your next purchase, what are you going to prioritize? Is it the speed of an app, the price at a supermarket, or the trust of your local shop? Because in the end, your choice is what decides who wins this retail revolution.